When a past you've been forced to forget suddenly knocks on your door, life becomes a slow descent into a fog with no escape. At the center of this dark story is a young man named Thomas. His world collapses when his mother, the only person close to him and his support, dies. But along with grief comes shocking news. It turns out he had another family all this time. Deep in the Brazilian forests lies a vast estate that belonged to his grandmother, a woman he'd never heard of. And now Thomas is the sole heir to this colossal fortune. Together with his partner Benny, Thomas sets out on this journey, hoping to find answers to the questions his mother took to her grave. They leave the bustling city behind and journey into the unknown. Upon arrival, they are greeted by an estate that feels more like a living thing than a home. It is majestic, cold, and frozen in time. Thomas's two aunts await them there. At first glance, they are the very embodiment of hospitality. Soft voices, laid tables, endless conversations about the importance of roots and family honor. Thomas, starved for a sense of belonging, begins to believe he has finally found his true home. But while Thomas is immersed in this illusion of comfort, Benny begins to notice strange things that chill his blood. He sees what Thomas, blinded by hope, refuses to notice. The servants' strange glances, more like appraisal of the victim than respect. Rituals that the aunts call sweet traditions, but which in reality seem like preparation for something sinister. The walls of the house seem to whisper, and at night, sounds illogically inexplicable drift from the closed rooms. Gradually, the aunts' hospitality begins to resemble a silent siege. Step by step, they isolate Thomas from the outside world and from Benny, impressing upon him that his heritage is more than just earth and stones. It is a gift that flows in his veins, a commitment to his ancestors that cannot be ignored. Thomas begins to change. He is overcome by strange visions, his will weakens, and his identity seems to be erased, giving way to something ancient and alien. A terrible truth emerges. Thomas's mother didn't simply leave this house, she fled it, trying to save her son from a fate worse than death. She knew their family was bound by an ancient, dark pact that required the continuation of a chain of rituals. And now that the prodigal son has returned, the trap has sprung. The aunts are more than just loving relatives. They are the guardians of a cult for whom Thomas is merely a vessel, a necessary element to sustain their dark power. Benny desperately tries to pull Thomas out of this abyss, but she realizes the house and its inhabitants will not release their prey. Their every move is monitored, and every attempt to escape leads to a deeper descent into nightmare. In this place, love is replaced by obsession, and family ties become shackles that cannot be broken. By the end, it becomes clear that heritage is not wealth, but a curse woven into one's very DNA. The story of searching for one's roots turns into a tragedy about the loss of one's soul. Thomas realizes that for the right to be called part of this family, he will have to give up everything he was. For in this house, the past never lets go of its children, and the price of returning home is complete dissolution into the darkness that has waited for centuries for its heir.